Hey, how's it going, everyone? I hope you're having an amazing evening or day. In this video, it's going to be all about the part two for anybody that is starting out with Wix and want to learn everything about how to use the tools. On the first part, we talk all about the dashboard for your website, pretty much the back end of it. And now we're going to go in details about the editor. I'm gonna talk about every single tool that Wix has, and then we're gonna have a part three where we're gonna actually start doing the changes. But at least now you're gonna be familiar with how to use each tool. So let's say you're logging into your account and you have your website right here. If you have other websites, they're gonna show right here. But all you need to do is go to select and edit site, and it's gonna take you to the dashboard of your website. Again, this was part one, so if you haven't watched it, just check it out. Mainly this is gonna be a beginner's video, so anybody that doesn't have much idea or they just really barely got their account, so this is for you. Or if you pay somebody to create a website for you and you want to know how to do changes or how to use your Wix website, then this video is for you. So the first thing, again, just go into the dashboard. Now we're gonna go here where it says edit site. And then sometimes it takes a little bit to load. What I recommend is if you're using Chrome, unfortunately Chrome has a lot of errors. So sometimes you have to clear your cookies in order for you to see each update that you see. Sometimes they're not gonna show up right away. So just keep that in mind, okay? So once you are on the editor of your page, we're gonna see the top menu that you have right here. So you have the site settings, developer mode, hire a partner, help upgrade. And then on this side, you're gonna have the search tools. And this is gonna be to zoom out or reorder certain things. If you wanna undo something that you did, or if you wanna pretty much redo whatever you deleted. Here is gonna be to save whatever work you did. Let's say you're not ready to publish it. This is where you're gonna go, and to preview the site, and this is pretty much published. So we're gonna go on each of them right now. Again, right now we're just talking about very general about what they are. This button right here is part of your website, and this other side, this is also gonna be important. You're gonna have the tool or the button to add any tool that it's in the editor. You also have the menu and pages. This is where you're gonna see each page that you have in your website. Then you have the theme manager. A lot of people don't know about this, but let's say instead of you having to go and change each button's color or sections, you can go here on the theme manager and have your own theme of colors. That way, whenever you add a new text, you add a new color, it's automatically gonna be set to the ones that you created. So this is gonna give you a lot of advantage when you're designing your page if you're brand new. Also, if you're already trying to do edits on your page, you deleted something, everything is gonna be pretty much similar. Then you also have the text section where you can select what type of text and size you want for the page. And then we're gonna move to the background. You're also gonna be able to see the apps that are installed on your page, and if you need to add new ones, this is what's gonna be. You have the media, which is gonna be uploading pictures, videos, music, files. And then we have the blogging. This is where you can add a blog to your page. And then the last one is the Ascent tool, pretty much the email marketing tools, SEO tools, so other things that you can do to kind of help your website increase their visibility. So again, we're gonna go on each of them, but now you can see where you can access the tools. So let's start with site. So whenever you go to site, you're gonna have again these options. One, save, which you already have it on this right corner, but for some reason they just want to make it available in case you're working a lot on this site, you're more like left-handed, and then you can use this site too. But if you prefer to use this one right here, it's totally up to you. So preview is to see what the page is gonna look like, let's say once it's live. If you haven't published it, you just want to see everything is working. Let's say you added some text, you added some forms, you want to see what the pages looks like, you want to see like everything is moving correctly, if you add an effect. And we're gonna go again on each section, but I just want you to see what the preview is like. So let's say you're previewing your site, now you want to go back to edit it. All you gotta do is just click this button right here, back to the editor. We're gonna go back to the section right here. Again, we talk about get feedback on the first video, and it's pretty much for you if you're working with a business a partner, you know, somebody that's developing your site. This is pretty much for you to send a link so people can, you know, say like change this button, change this picture, add this, so they can pinpoint on your website instead of you having to do screenshots and send it to people and ask them like what change do you want here. You can actually send a link. So that's what the feedback is, but again, you can see it on the first video or you can just do it from here. Publish the site. Again, this is once you're happy and ready with the work, you can publish. A lot of the times there's some features that you have to publish even if you're not ready, because it won't work if you just do the preview. And that's when you start working on more advanced things like databases, collections, and something more like advanced. So but now don't worry about that too much, because what you can do is you can always create a page. If you're creating something from scratch and you already have something on your homepage and you just don't want people to see it, you can create a new page, and we're gonna talk about those details in a little bit. But once you create a new page, you can create everything, and later you can turn that new page into the home. So that's how you can do it. Of course, you have the mobile version, and that's something important to know with Wix. Wix has these two things, and I wanted to leave it last, but we're just gonna talk about it now. Whenever you build a website with Wix, it's like having two different websites. It's not like WordPress where you build the desktop and then the mobile version will automatically adjust, right? With the Editor X, pretty much you finish the desktop, but then you're gonna go on the mobile and it's gonna be completely a mess. So we're gonna talk about tips and things that you can do to help you not get so much of a mess on your mobile version, so that way when you're going back there and changing things are not gonna be you know, fixed. I mean, they're not gonna be changed completely, or they're gonna look good. So again, whenever you want to create a new site, or if you're changing anything on your page, what I usually like to do is, let's say I changed the size of this text, or I deleted it and added a new one, then I also want to go back into the mobile version and see that still looks good. And that's because, again, it might look too big and it's gonna mess up the completely layout of the page. Right now, this one, because it's a template that I use and I haven't touched anything, it still looks very good. But if I would already change things, this probably it's already gonna be all messed up, and that's normal. And when that happens, don't worry, it can be fixed. So we're gonna go back to the desktop. Then again, we were on the mobile version. Here you can also create a test site, so you can pretty much create a copy of this page, test anything literally, and once you're happy, you can publish it, and then it can be on the live version. You also have the site history, so let's say you try to do something and you mess it up, you can go back and fix whatever you did. Since again, there's nothing that has been changed in here, it won't show anything, but this is where you can access it. Okay, now all these tools, for the most part, you're always gonna use them right here in the front, so don't worry about it if you forget about this section. So then this is gonna be to make a copy of the website, which we talked about it on the first video, and then transfer a site and delete the website. And this one is to exit the editor to take you back to the dashboard. So again, that's pretty much all the general things that you need for Not so much on doing edits onto the page, but actually things that could affect the website, you know, if you want to do something outside of it. Then we're going to go to settings. Here is a little bit more details about what you can do to the page. So for example, connect a domain. I wouldn't do it through here because we're going to be more into the editor, but you can also access it here, or you can go back here into your dashboard and access it right here on this section right here. So it's just giving you that extra, you know, button, or make it easy for you to access it from the website and from the editor. You want to change the favicon, which is going to be this little icon that's here at the top. If you want to put your own logo right here, you can do it through there. It's only allowed for pay, you know, websites. If you have a free website, it's not going to let you do it. So, but at least you know where it is. The business info, if you want to add the address, if you have a location. Social share is to add your social media accounts. Marketing integrations, again, this is going to be for like adding your pixel from Facebook, tag manager from Google, and so on. Roles and permissions, if you want to add somebody to help you with your website. And then you also have the accessibility wizard, which this is for, and this is very important. This is going to be something that is going to be affecting a lot of businesses in the future because the laws are changing. And this is more for like people that can't read certain colors. It has to be certain size. So you have to do this kind of adjustments to your page. So this is where you can work on that. But if you don't have 15 employees or more, then you don't have to worry about it yet. Then of course, if you want to optimize a picture, privacy and cookies, this is also important. If you're collecting information. Multilingual is if you want to add a button, let's say right here on your website, where you can translate from English to, let's say, Spanish or any other language, right? Now, the only downside about that app is that whenever you do it, you can, it's almost again like having two websites, because you have the English version, and then whenever you switch, you gotta go back and verify that the translation was done correctly, because sometimes the system doesn't do it right. And if you're native and you know how to speak that specific language, you're gonna be like, this doesn't make sense, so you have to go and change it. So it's a little bit more work. And one thing is, make the primary page the language that rules your country, just because if you later need to delete something, you can always change it. And whenever you wanna delete the app, it's gonna completely change everything on your site. So it's important to know that part. Then if you wanna add a information or where to resend people, so let's say somebody tried to type your website and somehow they added an extra letter or they did it wrong, and then it's gonna take them to this error page 404, where it's gonna be like, sorry, this doesn't exist. And then you can tell them, click on this button, and it will take them somewhere else. So this is where you can do that. Again, if you want to, not a lot of people use it, and it is common that people end up on error pages. So it's totally up to you if you want to go into that. And then you have my dashboard, which is gonna be this right here. So that's it for the settings. Now, this is something that you are gonna use if you start doing more advanced things, like you wanna do anything that had to do with coding, adding some specific effects to your page. So this is where Wix call it developer mode. And once you turn it on, what it's gonna do is gonna open other tools available for doing a little bit more advanced things. If you watch my videos, I have some cool stuff there that you can use. It's not that difficult. Okay, so the developer mode, it's for more advanced things. So the way you turn it on is just literally clicking here, turn on. And then once you do that, you're gonna see there's gonna be a few new boxes right here. So you have the left side, and then you have this bottom part where you can add code. Each page gets its own section. So if you add code on the home page, it won't pass to the, let's say, about us page, or to the how it works page, or whatever pages you have on your website. So any code you add on this specific page is gonna stay here. Same thing when when we start using pop-ups, and let's say you want to add a specific code to that pop-up, the code is not gonna transfer to the next page. It's gonna be set for that specific page and every element in the website or the page that that you're working on. So once you turn it on, you can minimize this, and you can just click right here, and it will make the window smaller. Now, this is for people that want to do something more crazy and advanced things. So again, if you don't, you just want to do edits on your page, don't worry about this section right here. But I just want to talk about it a little bit, because I know in the future you might hear databases, you might hear like, can you add some code, or I want to do something a little bit more advanced. This is where you're gonna find it. Okay, so once we click on this, again, it's just gonna minimize it. And one thing that happens when you turn on the developer mode, here on the tools section, there's this new button that's gonna show up. So this input option right here is not gonna show up unless you turn on the developer mode. And once you turn it on once, you can turn it off, and then this will stay. Again, the other tool that is gonna show once you turn the developer mode on is gonna be the content manager, where you're gonna be adding databases. And again, that's a little bit more advanced, and I have videos coming talking about that. You can also do some cool stuff without having to learn coding and all that stuff, but you just need to understand how the function of each collection works. So this is gonna pretty much make your website a little bit more advanced rather than just using a regular template. Okay, now hire a partner. This is, let's say you want to do something cool on your site and you just don't know how to do it. You're like, you know what, I don't have time for this. You can hire a partner. They're not part of Wix, they're just a contractor for Wix, the Wix platform. So they will charge you for any service that you request through them. Now, if you just want help, you're gonna use this button right here, and in this section you can find articles, blogs. You can also do some research about specific things that you want to learn more about, and then the terms of use of the page and the privacy policy of the page. Here where it says upgrade, let's say right now I'm working on a free page, so that's why I get this message of upgrade and get 50%. And that's a cool tip to know, that once you build a website, wait at least 3 days and they'll offer you the 50%. So you'll save a lot of money right there. Now, if you upgrade and you get like a smaller package, you're still gonna be getting these messages saying to upgrade, because they want you to get the higher tier. But again, if you don't need it, it's not necessary, so just ignore that. Okay, now we're gonna go in details about this left section right here. But actually, let's do this, because this side is smaller. We're gonna go on the right side first. Again, you have the save button. This is just for you to kind of like do a change on your page, but you don't want to publish it yet because you're not ready. You can save it. The page will automatically save any work you do, just to give you a heads up. But sometimes if you do something and it's been, let's say, 3 seconds and now you want to exit, I do recommend to save it, because sometimes it takes a few seconds or even sometimes a few minutes to save your work. So if you haven't saved it, it might be gone by the time you come back. Preview, again, is just to see the website on a way that it should be live. So this is kind of like the live version, right? But it's still not published. So once you're ready to publish the page, all you gotta do is just click here and it will publish your website. and you should get this message saying congratulations, so now your page is live. And if I click here on view site, there it is, so the page is live, right? So now we're gonna go back here, we're gonna close this, and we're gonna go back to the editor. So now you're gonna see this other menu right here. So you have a search menu where, let's say you're looking for something specific. You can type, let's say, apps, and it's gonna show you apps. Let's say you're looking for a slider because you wanna add a slider to your page. You can type slider, and it's gonna show you a few options. So this is gonna be very useful if you want something specific and you don't know where to find it. So that's where this tool is gonna be for. Now you have tools. This is something that I really like to use. Why? Because once you use layers, let's start with toolbar. The toolbar, what it's pretty much gonna show you is things that you have on your page. Again, if you're not doing something too advanced, this is not gonna matter too much, so you can just close it. But one thing that you can use a lot is gonna be the layers. And the layers is gonna be for you to find out, let's say you added a picture and you can see it. Sometimes you add something and it goes behind this, and instead of you having to move this and try to look for where the picture is, you can always just open the tools section, click on layers, and you're gonna see this section right here. And in order for you to find where you're working at, so let's say I'm working on this, I will just click on an item, and now it's pointing at where it is. So if I click here on vector art, it's showing me that specific vector art. If I go here, it's showing me there's another one right here. And then you can find specific items in that section. Now let's say I wanna just change the color of this box, but I don't know how. So what I'm gonna do is I can just go here and click the slide, and as you can see, it's highlighting this, and now I can, you know, change specific items. So let's go here. I can also hide it if I don't want it to be shown. So now that I find what it is, I can just do a right click, and then I can also see other tools available. For example, I can duplicate, I can delete, I can cut, I can save to my designs. That's the other cool thing about Wix is, let's say you created this section and you wanted to use in other pages, you can also do a right click, and this is where you're gonna save it to your designs. So we're gonna go into this menu in a little bit, but I just wanted to show you how the layers work. So again, the layers is gonna help you to find sections in your website, and that way you can decide if you want to keep it. Let's say I don't like this one right here, but if this was on top of this, I wouldn't be able to find it right away. So I can click on this, right, and look for which the vector is, and then once I find that vector, I can just delete it. Okay, so it's this one. I can also, you know, delete it if I want to, and this is just gonna hide it. But once it's selected, I can just click delete on my keyboard and it's gone. So the other thing to delete something is just click on top of it, do right click, you can delete, or just click on it and delete it from your monitor. So again, this is what the layer is gonna help you to find things that sometimes you can't select when you're clicking on top of it. So let's close that. Now we're gonna go here on this little section which has like the little arrow right here. This is to undo something, so I want to add back the things that I deleted by accident, let's say. Or if I, you know what, I changed my mind, I want to delete it again, and then I can just go back and forth with these little arrows. Or you can do Control-Z if you have Windows. I'm not sure what you use when you have a Mac, because I don't have a Mac. Okay, so now we're gonna go on to the left side, and this section right here is where a lot of things are gonna happen. Right now we're gonna talk about how to use them, and then in the third video that I'm gonna do, we're gonna talk about actually creating a page and designing and doing all those things. So let's start with the little plus button right here. The first button that you have here is for you to access certain things. So strip, what's a strip? Strip is pretty much this section right here. If you see here, You have this section right here, this other right here. So a strip is pretty much like what the name says, you know, it's just like a little, like completely square, I mean a rectangle that you can add to the page. And you have the classic, which is gonna be just a single color that you can also change, and a white color. So for example, I wanna add a section right here in between these two. A lot of the times people, when they're building a website and they're not familiar, what they usually do is they'll start building on the actual page of the website. And the reason why you don't want to do that is, one is when you go on the mobile version, it's going to be a completely mess. So if you want to add just a specific section, what I recommend is, instead of you adding things right away, you can add a section. So let's fix this. Okay, so we're gonna add a strip right here in between. Okay, so let's say I want to add a section for pictures. So I'm gonna go on the plus button and I can select any of this. So if I add this, I can just drag it here and drop it, and now it was added. Okay, so if you want to make this section a little bigger, you're gonna see there's two buttons. You have this button that says drag, and then if you move your mouse on the line, on the blue line, once you hover, there's a little arrow pointing out and down, and this is pretty much what's gonna help you like move it up and down, but it's not gonna let you stretch the box. Okay, so if you want to stretch this box, what you want to do is you want to use this little white box right here, and this is what's gonna help you push everything at the same time. If you wanna like make it smaller, you gotta grab from the bottom, and this is how you can make that section smaller or bigger. Okay, now let's say for some reason you want this box to go on top of this one. What you want to do is make sure the little cross with the little arrows are showing, and you're gonna do one click without letting go, and then you can just drag on top of another section. And this is going to be very useful when you're doing specific designs. For example, this section is white and I want to change the strip background. So I can go here, and let's say I want to make it you know, a different color, let's say purple, and then here I want to make it a little bit clear. So as you can see, is on top of this other section, and I can see through this. So you can use it for effects, you can use it for, you know, creating some animations, or, you know, there's many reasons why you need this. So you can move it on top. Now, if that's not what you want to do, and you want to move just this whole section down, then use the white buttons right here. So this is how you stretch it and make it bigger. Now, once I click here, we're gonna make it white again. And the next button that you're gonna have for this section right here is the animation. So if I click on this one, I can decide how this part is gonna work. And this is good when you add an image to this background. So if you wanna change the background image, I'll go here, change image, and then I can select a new image for that specific you know, section. So let's say I wanna add this coyote right here. Or fox, I don't know what it is, and I want to add an effect right here. So let's say I wanted to, you know, reveal the image, or I want to do a parallax. So you can select, or maybe you want to do a 3D. So let's use the reveal, and then once you do that, we're gonna preview, and that's how you're gonna see the effect on that image. So let's say you go here, and now you see that effect. So that looks really cool when you're on a desktop. Now on mobile, it's not gonna do the effect. It's actually just gonna stay still right there. So it's good for the desktop version, but on the mobile, it's not gonna do the same effect. So just keep that in mind. So we're gonna go back. So again, that's how you add a section using a strip. Now we're gonna delete this, and we're gonna make everything back to normal. So let's say we're gonna go here. So the other thing that we're gonna do now, let's say you wanna add a section between these two, but instead of you trying to figure out how to make the design, you can go back to this button right here and you have sections. So you have the classic again, right? Which is just a single color that you can change, either the white or the black. It will work the same. It doesn't make a difference, but it's just for you. Let's say if you're working on a white canvas and you just want to distinguish where the new section was added, that's why you will use the black one. But again, it's gonna have the same functionality. Let's say you want to add a strip with video. This is the one, so you can just drag it in the section that you want, and once you add it, you're gonna be able to preview and see the video right there, and you can change that video for anything. So I just want to let you know that that's possible. So we're gonna go back to the editor and we're gonna delete this. We're gonna go back to the strip, and then you want to add a section that has an image and has some text. All you gotta do is just drag that section right there, and then once it's here, all you gotta do is select that specific box, and then you can change the background. So if I want to change it for an image, I can go here, and let's say I want to use these guys. And then if I want to kind of adjust the picture a little bit, I can click on settings, and then right here on where is the position, you can make it go higher or lower. And this is gonna be very useful for like pictures that are pretty big, and let's say there's certain things that are cut. So we're not gonna go in too much details there yet because we still have some tools to go. But in this section, you have the text, you have again a button, and then the color of this column. So all you gotta do is just click on the box. This is how you change the background, and then let's say you want to use a different color. Once you do that, let's say you like the work, you can click save. Let's say you want to change the button, you can always, the thing is that the tools that you're always going to have available for everything, either sections, text or buttons or pictures, is going to be this little hover menu that shows up right here. So if I click on this, I see to manage the columns. So these are the columns. This is how I change the background for the page, and then this is where I can add effects. If I want to change this specific item, I can just click on it, and now I can edit the text, get text ideas. So this is where you can do some text ideas. But let's say you want to go to edit text, you can change how big you want this to be or how small you want it to be, right? And then you want to change the different type of font. This is where you do it. And then you can change also the color of the font. So if you want to make it green, blue, whatever the color is, or click in this plus button to add other colors and find the ones that you want. So let's say you want this color right here. You gotta make sure you click add, and then now it's gonna be added to your palette, and you can reuse it again. So if you wanna adjust the type of text, you want it to go to the left, you want it to go to the right. This is where you do all those little things. Now if you want to change this, is the same concept. Just click on top of it, you're gonna see the edit text, you're gonna see effects, and this is gonna be something for like more advanced sections, like connecting databases, creating more collections, things like that. And then on the button, when you click on it, you're gonna have also this menu up here where you can change just the text. So here we can say view more, for example. But now let's say you don't like it's kind of hard to see that text. So first you can go on the layout and you can decide if you want it to be on the left or on the right or in the middle. Then you have the design button. This button is gonna be available in a lot of things. And this is really cool because once you click on it, you can change the design of that button. Okay, so it's gonna have multiple colors, and if you want to make your life easier, just find one that you like. But let's say you just want to change the color, you want to go here where it says customize design, and this is where you can change the background. So if I want to put, let's say, blue background, and then I can just change it. This is where I'll do it. I'm gonna leave it clear. This is where the border is right here, the one that's around it. Let's say I want it to be green as well. Can add it right there. And then the corners, if I wanna make them a little bit more curvy and I don't want them to be too square. If they're 0, it's because they're square, but if I want them to have a little bit of curve, I can add a number here and just click on the next one, and it will start making it curvier. So I can do 10, and that way you can see the difference. And then here is, let's say you want to add a little effect at the bottom or in the top. So if I click enable shadow, I can add something like at the bottom, and then here I can decide what color I want it to be and how big I want it to be. So you can see there. You can also decide which section of the button you want it to be, and then it's only gonna show on that place. So this is how you customize a button. Okay. You also have 2 options, one for how the button looks when it's stable, and then the other one, which is called hover. When you go on preview mode and then you move your mouse on top of it, you can see it has that effect. So you can have the button change to a different color when somebody is ready to click on it or it's moving the mouse on top of it, and it just gives it that extra effect that makes it look cool. So again, we're gonna go back to the tool section right here, and that's what it is for strips. Again, we went a little bit more into those sections, but we're gonna touch again those points because we're gonna go into the next one, which is gonna be text. This is where you're gonna add a text on anywhere on your section. The cool thing about Wix is that compared to WordPress, if you add an item, you can drag and drop anywhere you want. Let's say you want this button, this text to be right here in the middle, you can do that. But now you gotta keep in mind that there's these little white lines that you see right here, and this is pretty much what telling you that that's where most of the times you want to keep items, because if you go to a smaller screen, there's things that you might not be able to see. And I have another video that I'm gonna attach in the description that talks about responsiveness and how you can use the layouts to make sure that whenever you do a design, that even if you go to a smaller screen, it's not gonna affect and it's still gonna look good. So, but right now we're just talking about how to add certain items. So let's say I want to delete that. So we're gonna go back here on text. On text, I have a few options, right? I have the theme text that you decided on your theme manager, which we're gonna talk in a little bit. So if I wanna add a headline, I just wanna add a paragraph, or I wanna add something from this, it's already like a font that you like. So let's say I like this one. I can just click on it and drag it in the section that I need it. I'm gonna change the color, and let's say I wanna make it white, and I wanna change it to say about us. Right, so now I added it here. So if I want to make this bigger, I can click on text and make it 100 times bigger, and there it is. So that's how you add a text. It's very easy. Again, all you gotta do is just find the one that you like, click on it or drag it and put it anywhere you want, and that's it. That's how you add a text. The next one is gonna be adding an image, and I think this is very important because you have a different type of images that you can add. You can add a single image, you can add a gallery, and then Wix has some other stuff like illusions. They have a photo editor. They have this section is called before and after, which is an app. It's pretty much just showing what is gonna look before and after. So the one that you mostly gonna be using is this one, which is image. So once you want to add an image, again, just go to this section right here, click on it, find image, and then the first one, you're gonna do one click and you're gonna see this screen right here. The cool thing about Wix is that you have this left side corner right here menu. You have media from Wix, so anything that is on media from Wix is pretty much free. It comes with the website. You don't have to pay for anything. and you can add any image that you want. So let's say I want to use this one. I can just click on it and then click add to the page, and it will add it. Then you have Shutterstock, and this one is for pay images. You're gonna have more premium, and you're gonna have that specific image that you want. Let's say you want a ninja on top of a rock kicking a wood, something like that, something really crazy, because their database is very big. But once you like a picture, for this one is about $2.99 per picture. So what I usually recommend is, before paying for a picture, to use the Wix database for images. And if you don't find it there, then you can use this one. It's called Unsplash. And right here you can go and type, for example, let's say you want to look for drinks, right? And then you want to use this specific picture. You can click on it and add to the page. So that's how you can access free stock images that you can use. And then the pay one is from Shutterstock. Now, let's say you already have an image, you want to use the ones that you already took, or the ones that you already have for your business or your website. Then what you want to do is right here where it says upload media, and this is where you're going to be able to pick the ones that are on your computer. Now, before I go here on uploading the media, I want to go to site files. Why? Because this is where all the images that you're going to be adding to your website are going to show up. Now, something that I really recommend, more if you're adding new content, is to create folders. And the reason why you want to create folders is because you want to make sure everything is organized, because you start adding a lot of pictures, then you don't know where everything is. So we're going to create a few folders. You just click on it, and let's say you type logo. So this is where you're going to add your logo. Then you want to add another folder, and you want to name it like team, for example. You want to have pictures of your team. Here you're going to do products. And the best part is that no matter where, how many folders you have, the website is going to be able to access them no matter in which folder they are. So that's not a problem. So you can add pictures on any of the folders, and whenever you need it, all you gotta do is just click on that folder, and it will show you whatever images you have there and access them. So just keep that in mind. So once you have, let's say, the folders that you need, let's say we want to add a picture of products. So I'll go here, I'll open the folder, and I can go directly and upload media. If I already have a content here of a few pictures, this button is gonna be gone, so I can just use this one right here on the left, and I can click upload media. And once you see this section right here, you can find it on your Google Drive, from your Facebook, your Instagram, Dropbox, or from a link. In this case, what we want is from your computer, right? So when you click on computer, you're gonna see the computer menu, which is gonna be this one right here. Let me open it really quick. And we're gonna go to pictures. Okay. So it's gonna look like that, right? So you open your folder once you click on the button, and let's say you wanna use this image. So you gotta just click and upload the image. So again, because I'm not gonna upload any picture right now, I'm just showing you what is gonna happen. Once you click this, you should see, if you're on a Mac or Windows, you should see another box where you're gonna go find your pictures, and that's how you're gonna, once you select a picture, it's gonna be added. Once you add it, you have it here, you just click on it and add it to the page. So what I want to do is I want to go on this section right here, and I'm going to put just technology. So it's related to the page that we have. Let's say I want to add this one right here. I can click add to the page. But before I do that, let's say I want to reuse this picture and I'm scared that I'm not going to find it later. So I can just go here and add it to my favorites. That way, whenever I go here on my boards, I can find it here on my favorites, and I can reuse it again. So I click on it and I added the picture, sorry. So now I have my picture right here. I can put it on any section I want. I can make it smaller. So as you can see, I can just make it smaller right here. Let's say I want to cut it, make it even, you know, a different design. As you can see here, you have the change the image. Let's say I change my mind, I don't want this image anymore. So I will click here and it's gonna take me back to the box where I can go find the image that I want to replace it for. So let's say I want, again, technology. And then we're gonna click on this one and then choose the image. So now I have it right there. Now you have the settings. The settings is gonna be for you to do a little bit more advanced things. So for example, whenever somebody comes to your website, they see the picture, and if they click on it, you want them to take them somewhere else, you can have this section right here. When images click, a link opens, right? I want to do that. Then I can add a link and connect it to the page. The other option is if somebody clicks on it, I want it to open in a pop-up. If they click on it, I want it to just be magnified. So you have all these tools available for that image. And then here's where you can connect it to a link. So let's say somebody clicks on it, you wanna go on a page within your website, you'll go right here on pages, and then you're gonna click on this button right here and find where your pages are in your website. Now, because we only have one page, it's not showing more, but if you would have more pages, it will show right here. Now, we're gonna go in details about what are anchors in a little bit, so we're not gonna talk too much about it, but you can also have a document. If somebody wants to download a document, you can also, instead of taking them somewhere, you want them to dial a phone, you can click on here and type your phone number right there, and whenever somebody clicks on it, it's gonna try to dial that number. You can also do a light box. Light boxes on Wix are pretty much a pop-up that shows on your screen. And then web address, if you want to send them completely outside your website, this is where you can put the link. So for example, you want to send them to your YouTube channel, and then this is where you do it. Okay, so, and then if you don't want nothing to happen, just click on none and then just close it. Then you have design. Within design, you can add specific things, like you can make it a frame, you know, give it some effects, things like that. So let's say I want it to look like that. If I want to crop the image, let's say I want to just use half of this image, I don't want to use the whole thing, I can just do this, and then I can click apply, and it's only gonna show me that section. I can also click on crop, and then right here I can select something more specific. Let's say I want to use a circle, or I want to use this cool effect right here, and now as you can see, it cut the picture in that specific format. I can click apply, and now you have your image right there. Okay, so I can move it anywhere I want. So once you do that, you can save, and now we're gonna move to the next one. Next one is gonna be a button. This is where you're gonna add buttons to your page. So you already have some that are pre-made, and this is very cool because with these buttons right here, again, they're already designed, but you can always change the colors, change the text. Then you have text and icons. So as you can see, there's little icons inside the buttons. This one has a little phone right there. This one is a shopping cart. So you have another icon buttons. So instead of having this type of regular buttons, you want it just to look like a little box, you can do that. If you want it to be just a regular icon to work as a button, you can do that. And then let's say you want to add a file, people want to download a file, this is where you can add it, and then you can just connect it to a file that you have in your website, and that way when they click on it, it downloads the file. So this is where you're going to use that for. Upload buttons, this is going to be, let's say you want to add a section where people can upload their own information, and this is going to be a little bit more advanced. So again, unless you already know a little bit or have more knowledge about how to do databases and create certain things, this is where you're going to be using it. In the meantime, again, you're probably not going to use it much. Then you have the iTunes button if you wanna connect it to an iTunes folder. Then you have the Wix chat button, which is gonna be the one that you're gonna see on the right or on the left. Right now it's actually on the left. It's this one right here, so you can add it. And then right here you also have pay buttons. So let's say you wanna connect a button directly to your PayPal account, or you wanted to have a donate button. Some of these are premium, so if you have an upgrade, it's not gonna let you. So the way you go around this is you can go directly, let's say on PayPal, get the code and then embed it into the page. That's again requires a little bit more of a technical thing to do, but there's a lot of information about how to do those things. If you also need help, just comment on the video and then I'll try to help you with that. And then of course just PayPal buttons, which are these ones right here. Then we're gonna go into the gallery. This is where you can add multiple pictures, display of images. So you have the first one, which is images and text. So if I click on it, it's gonna add all like a sample of gallery that I already have built. So this is a lot and I just don't like that design. I can always play around with it. And for me to kind of like play with it and have a better way to manage it over my site so it's not that messy, I'm gonna go where it says manage media and I'm gonna delete all the sample pictures and I'm just gonna leave 2 or 3. That way I can decide what type of design I want to use before I completely add it. So I left 4. So now that looks like that. Let's say I want to make a little smaller and it just makes it a little smaller. I'm gonna add a strip so that way you guys can see it clearly. We're gonna add a classic white strip right here and then we're gonna make this way bigger. There you go. So we're gonna find the gallery and it's right there. So once you add your gallery again, as you can see, you have some text and the image. How do you change this? Is very easy. Just click on the item. You're gonna see the menu that shows on top and you can click on manage media to change the images and the text. If you go to settings, this is gonna give you the layout. Let's say you don't like the way it looks right now, you can go on layout and then you can change what it's gonna look like, right? You wanna use this one, you wanna use slider. So you can change the design. You don't have to pick that specific one if you don't want to, so you can go that. Then on settings, you can also specify, you know, what is gonna happen if somebody clicks on it. You want it to open, you want it to send to a link, or nothing happens. You just want them to click on the image and not be able to do anything other than just see the image. If you want to have them open on a bigger screen, then you can do that. And then on design, this is where you can change the icons text, like the size of what you see right here, the type of text, how do you want it to look, the title. If you want it to have a title, if you don't want a title, you can remove it. Description, you can remove it. And then an advanced thing, this is where you can decide what the quality of the image is. If you want to have a button so people can share the image. And then once you're here again on advanced, you can decide also what you want it to do, right? So you want it to show a play button. Let's say you're adding a video. So things like that. So this is where you're gonna change all the things within this gallery right here. So let's change the images. You're gonna click on manage media, and then here we're just gonna delete everything and we wanna add our own pictures. So it should look like this. Add media. I can add an image, or I can also add videos. So I go here and let's say I wanna do technology again. And I want to add this guy right here, and then let's say I want to add another images. Let's say I want to add this guy, this one, and I can select multiple ones because it's a gallery, and then I can click add to page and it add up all of them. So now I can click done, and it's gonna pretty much add them. So if I click on that specific image, I can name the title, you know, robot, and then here is like the newest family member, and then here on the doggy I can put like our new pet, or here I can say like he is more like family than a pet, right? So you can put a title and a description. So once you do that, I want to show you what it's gonna look like, and that's because we selected the design. So you have the title, the description. If I click on it, I had it to kind of like open on a bigger screen, but you can design anything you want on the gallery. So we're gonna go back to the editor, and then let's say you don't want that design. Again, you're gonna go to settings and you can change the layout. So we can do that. That way it looks like that. If I'm ready to publish, I can just click publish, and then I can see the whole website. So let's see what it looks like so far with those changes that we did. As you can see, there's our gallery right there, and it's looking like a website. Awesome. So we're gonna go back to the editor. Now we're gonna go into the next category. So we just went on gallery. This one right here is pretty much what it says, decorative. You can add, you know, items like shapes, arrows, lines. This is gonna be good, for example, if you're wanting to separate things. So if I add this little arrow, I mean this little line right here, just as like a design, you know, something that I want to show to divide something, that's what I will use this one for. I can also use something like, we're gonna go here again. Let's say I want to add something like a cartoon. So if I add these palms right here, let's say I want to add it right here at the top, and let's say I change my mind, I don't want these palms, so I can just click on change vector, and it's gonna show me all the library that Wix has available, or you can also add your own. So let's say I want to add this guy instead, and now it's right there. So that's what you're gonna use this section right here to be able to add more content. You can add also animals, logos and badges, characters, and then a video box. This is where you can add a video, and then you can always change it as well. So let's say if I add a video, let's say I want to put it right here, I can change the video, and then I can upload it from here directly to the page on my computer, or I can find one on the gallery. So let's say I want to use this lady right here, and just click add to the page, and it was added right there. I'm gonna add a strip so it doesn't look too odd. I'm gonna drag it right there, and then I can make this a little bigger, and I can drag this video right here. And as you can see, changing or designing is pretty much the same concept. You just drag and drop. But the one thing that you gotta keep in mind is whenever you add something, just don't focus too much on what you like, but think about also what people are gonna like and if they're gonna be able to read it. Because the mistake that a lot of people do is something like this. Let's say you have this image right here, it's kind of gray, and then you're gonna put something black on top. Right now you can still kind of see it, but if this was a little darker and you put an image that, I mean a text that's completely dark, then it's gonna be hard to read. So you also gotta keep that in mind. Yeah, maybe you like it, but it's not necessarily good for other users. So always keep that in mind. And you can go look at other websites to get inspired. And there's things that you might say, you're like, oh, I would prefer to have my website this way. But again, make sure that it's not just about you, but think more about what your potential client or your potential visitor is gonna like. So just keep that in mind. So we're gonna move back here, and I can test what the video is gonna look like. So if I click on here, it's right there. And then once I decide that I like this, I can just go back to the editor, and I'm gonna go back to these tools right here. and now we were on decorative, right? So now we're gonna go on interactive, and right here is where you can add slides to the page, and they already have built some of them. So if you want to add just a slide box, you want to add a whole, like, you know, kind of like banner at the top, this is where you'll find it. So let's say I want to go here, and instead of this, I want to add this one right here. I can just drag it right there, and boom, now I have it right there. So if I go to preview, you're gonna see now I have a slider, and it's right there, and it's ready. So we're gonna go back to the editor, and now let's say you want to change the colors, change the things. All you gotta do is find this menu right here that says manage slides. So if I click here on the top, and then I click here, is showing at the bottom. Sometimes it might show at the top, so just try to find where it says manage slides. When you click on it, you can you know, try to find it. 1 second, close this. Okay, it says right there. So you have 1 slide, 2, and 3. Anytime you add something to the slides, you gotta make sure you see, I'm gonna show you right now. Let's say I want to add a text to this slide right here. When I drag it, you gotta make sure you see that blue button that says attach to slide, because if you don't see the button and you just literally just drop it on top of this, whenever you switch the slide, it's not gonna change. It might stay on the page. So you gotta make sure it gets attached to that slide. Once you click on it, you can change the background. So I can do a different color. Let's say I want to do something like that. I can do something like that. And then this one is an item. So if I don't want it, I can delete it. This is a line, so I can delete it. This one I can move it, edit the text. Let's say I want to use a different font, and then I can move it around. And then let's say I like that slide. Now I can move to the next one and do the same thing. So that's why you're gonna use interactive. Then you have, of course, the boxes, which are sliders, just smaller. And again, it's gonna work the same way. So we're gonna add a strip, so that way you can see what it's gonna look like. When I just drag this right here, and we're gonna go back here, and we're gonna go on interactive, and let's say I wanna add just a small box, I can just add it right there. And the same thing, I can change the background. I can use a different image. So let's say I want to use this one. I can change the color by editing the text. Click here, and then I can click again on the text, and then this one right here is gonna change it. So that's how you're able to change anything on your text. You can, as you can see here, you have all the tools. You can, you know, make a little to the left, you want to make it skinnier, you want to put a line under, you want to highlight it, you can use this one. You want to connect it to a page or to an external link, you can also do that with text or an image. Then if you scroll down, you can add effects. So you want to add a shade to it, you can do that. Now there's a little shade, it's hard to see it there, but hopefully you can hard see it. But that's where it is. If you want to add an effect, so let's say you want it to bounce, you want it to glaze in, and then if you want to customize it, you can make this from what distance to go, and then you can play, and you can add effects to the text. So that's for the sliders. So we're just gonna delete this. So this is where you access the interactive. Now the next one that we're going to talk about is the light boxes. The light boxes are pretty much a pop-up that shows on your window, and you can set it up to be activated when somebody clicks a button, or you can have it activated just whenever somebody opens a page, or you want to activate it by somebody, you know, trying to exit the page. So there's a different reasons on how you can use it. This can be used to show you know, promotions, to ask for subscribers, You can also use it to fill out forms. So instead of creating a page, you can connect it, add a button, so it's all just within the same page without you having to create an extra page and people have to go outside that area. So you can use it for different things. Okay, so let's add one. We're just gonna select, there's different styles, so we're gonna select this one right here, and once you add it, you're gonna get this little menu right here, and this is pretty much something that you can move around. If I click exit, it's gonna exit everything. Then you have the white container, and then you have the they call it overlay. So if you don't like this red overlay, you can just click on top of it and change the overlay background for, let's say, a different color. So you can change the color that you want, and then you can also add an image if you prefer to add an image. So let's say we want to add this one. So once you add an image, it's right there. You can also add a video, so you can design this as you wish. We're gonna close that, and now we're gonna focus just on this section right here. So it already has an image, but we're gonna start from a blank page. So we're gonna delete everything. And then you have your box right here. If you stretch this, it's gonna make it a little bigger. And then as you stretch this, it's also making it a little bigger. And then this one, definitely you don't wanna delete it because this is what's gonna close the page. So we're gonna keep it somewhere safe. We're gonna add an image. So let's say I wanna add an image about some promotion that I'm running, right? So let's put, so let's say 50% off, and I want to add it right here, and then I'm gonna put something like a form, which we're gonna talk right now. So actually let's add a button because we're not there yet. So we're gonna add a button, and this one right here, we're gonna put it right there. And then where's our button? Just, oh, there it is. So once the button is there, you can click here and change the settings of this one. So if I go here, this one, because it's a purchase button, that's why it's giving me this message. So we're just gonna delete it because we don't want that. We want just a regular button. So we're gonna go here on theme buttons. We're gonna add this one. Okay, and now it should say change text. And here we can be like, call for discount, for example. Again, you can do anything with this button. You can have them call you, you can have them go to a different page to fill out a form. You can connect it to, you know, anything, send an email. So once they click on it, that you can type your email right here, and it's gonna prompt them to add their email. So you can do different things with that. So once you're happy with your design, the last thing to do is just click on the main box, and you're gonna find this menu right here. Sometimes this menu is gonna show at the top, so just be aware of that because it can be at the bottom or at the top. What you want to do is find the set triggers, and this is where you can name this light box. So we're gonna name it 50% off. That way you know where to how to recognize it. And then here it says automatically display light box on pages. Let's say I don't want that to happen. So if people, you know, go to my site, it's just gonna show up. That's one option. Or one is I can click no. That way I can connect it to a button in the page. So you can select either one. So right now we're just gonna leave it as no because we're gonna be working on the editor and it's just gonna be annoying, keep showing up. So once you're selecting that option, just close this window, exit the mode, and now you can just save it right here. And now you have a light box. We're gonna go back here on menus and pages, and you're gonna go right here where it says light box, and it's right there. If you wanna edit it again, you're just gonna click on it, and now your light box is right there. So we're gonna exit there, and we're gonna go back to the tools. So That was for that section. Then you have boxes. On boxes, again, you can add sections. And what is cool about this is that, let's say you want to add a box right here, and then you want to add a text on top of it for, let's say you're trying to do some design. You can just adjust this and then just connect it to your box. And then once you're again on boxes, there's already some pre-made options that you can use, like this one. So all you gotta do is just drag and drop on the page. Next, we're gonna do list and grids. This is gonna be more for using advanced things like collections or databases, but it's also gonna be very good for you if you're planning to do something and you want it to be consistent and look the same. So you can use any of this, and this is what we call repeaters. So a repeater is that anything that you do on one design is gonna look the same for all of them. So if I add this one right here, for example, it has an image, it has a title, date, description, price, and a button, right? But let's say I don't want all this stuff. So I can delete this, and I don't want that, I don't want that, I don't want that. And I only want, you know, the button, this button in the middle, so I can move it around. As you can see, it does it for all the other boxes. And let's say this image, I want it to be a little bigger, I can do that, or I can make it a little smaller. And then let's say I want to move it on the middle, and then I want to change the background on this and make it something like change the background, and I want to make it something more like a gray or a green. So let's say green, just, or blue. Okay, so once I do that, I can go and change the thing that's not going to change for the other ones is the box color, but the layout, as you can see, anything that I do is going to do it for the other one. If I add a title, so I can go to text and I can add a title to this one right here, it's going to add it for all of them. So that's what it makes it easier for you to create multiple things, and all you gotta do is just change the text on this one. So sample 2, and I can do sample 3, and then this one is sample 1. Okay, so you have this option to kind of help you increase the productivity or to make things faster. Also, it's a good design. If you want to add another box, it's very easy. All you gotta do is just click on top of the box, manage items, and then you can find this right here. Click right here and you can duplicate or delete, or you can just add a section right here and then duplicate item, and it will make a copy. And now you can go and again add the design that you want. So that's what's gonna be for the lists and grids, which is also called repeaters. Video music, this is where you're gonna be able to add a video. If you select this option right here, you gotta upload the video to your Wix account, and this is where you're gonna add it. If you have a YouTube channel and you just want to connect one of your videos, all you gotta do is find the share link from your video and then connect it to the page. So let's add this one just because it's the most popular. I'm gonna delete that section. Once you click change video, you can paste your link right here, and then it's gonna play. You can also you know, change the design, the layout, the colors, things like that. So you can do all those on this menu. The next section is gonna be the menu. The menu is gonna be for everything that you see here at the top. So let's say you don't want this menu anymore and we wanna add a new one because I wanna use a different style. So let's say I wanna use this style right here, and just drag it right there and paste it right there, or move it anywhere I want. So that's where you're gonna be able to add a menu. Usually if you're creating a page with a template, it's already gonna have a menu. But if you're creating a page from scratch, you're gonna need to add a menu. So that's how you find it. When you click on top of the menu, you can manage the pages or the anchors that you already have, And I'm gonna talk in a little bit about what are anchors. So are these sections right here. So you can connect a button to a specific section on your page, no matter where in the website it is. That anchor is gonna be able to connect you to any button, and you can pretty much help people navigate your site easier. So that's how you're gonna use it. Here on navigate, it's just gonna show you how the pages are, and then here on the design, this is where you can decide how you want it to look. If you want it to be more on the left, the right, and then on design is to change the colors or change a different style. So you can decide if you want to modify that part. So we're gonna move it back here again, just for now. We're gonna go back here, social. This is where you can add buttons for your social media accounts. So if I use this one, I drag it there. Set social links. This is where you can add or delete. So let's say I only have YouTube and I don't have this one. And let's say Instagram. So once I click on this one, I can change this and add my own link right here. And then the same for this one. I can click on this one and change my link right there. And once I close it, these buttons are gonna be able to take me to my social media accounts. Next, we're gonna go to contacts and form. And this is very useful if you want a place where people can, you know, send you a message, request a quote. So you already have pre-made forms. So let's say you want just a page for people to contact you. You can just drag this one right here. We're gonna delete this video so that way it's there. So now your form is right there. And again, same concept. For everything within the Wix platform, you're always gonna have this menu on top of each item where you can find how to change certain things. So that's the cool thing about this, is that you don't have to go outside the page to find the solution. Everything sometimes is within the same item. So if I wanna change, let's say a text, I can just click on it and it already tells me, okay, this is where you can change the text. I can change the color, right? And then if I want to change anything on the form, I can just click on this, edit fill, and then here it says add a title, so I can add a title. And now, oh, I have that one right there, so I guess I don't need it, so I'm gonna delete it. I can change that. Instead of saying last name, I can say phone number, and then I can make it require, and then that's how you can change things here. If I don't like the button to be at the end, I can move it right here. Now for any forms, you're always gonna have this one, and you don't wanna get rid of it because this is a message that people are gonna see once they submit anything on your page. So just keep that in mind. This is not gonna show on the preview, on the live version, but once somebody submits, it's gonna give them that section. And we're gonna go back here, click on the editor, and the reason why you saw the pop-up is because the trigger wasn't turned off. So we're gonna go back here and fix it, so we don't want that to happen right now. Set triggers, and we want to say no, we don't want it to automatically show, and we're gonna click publish, so it's gone. Okay, so we're back here. So this is how you add a form. And one of the things that's important is to know the name of this form. And why is this going to be useful? Because if you watch the first video, I talk about automations and how you can set certain things that, let's say somebody fills out this form and you want them to get a thank you email, or you want to send them a brochure or do specific tasks. That's what is going to be useful, to know the name of this form. So how do you do that? You got to go on form settings, and this is where you can do a lot of things. Settings is going to give you the name of this form, so you can rename it so that way you don't get confused. And you can put homepage form. You can also name it subscriber form, or anything you want. On the notifications, when you click on it, you can have, you know, other people get emails too for the notifications. You can also have, you know, a submissions table, so you can have it all in one place. But again, all this you're not gonna use much, so don't worry too much about it. Then the submit message, it says thank you for submitting. Also, you can send them to a different page once they submit their information. Let's say you have a thank you page within your website, you can send them there. Or let's say you want them to go see specific item, you can also do that. So you can send them to a page, to an external link, and that's what you're gonna do. If you were taking payments, you can also do that in this section, but because we're not doing that right now, we're just gonna ignore it. And then conditions, based on the answers, you can have them see specific things. This is a little bit more advanced, so if you wanna get a video just about this section, I can do that as well. And then the automations, this is where you can send a thank you message or create a task within your website, like give you a notification or move you into a specific section within the website. Now we're gonna go to the next option, which is gonna be embedded. And embedded is a really cool tool for anybody that's trying to, you know, connect something from another platform to your page. If you ever use, there's this website called JotForm. JotForm, you can create super custom forms, very advanced and very easy. And let's say you want to display that specific form into your page, this is where you're going to use that. So embed it to the site, and then whatever code they give you, you can just click enter the code, and you can enter a website or you can enter a code, paste it right there, and you're going to be able to display whatever you know, code that you have that it doesn't have to do with Wix. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's what this is going to be, to integrate anything outside from Wix into your page. So if you need help embedding something, let me know, or I can also do a video. But again, this is going to be very useful for your page. Then we're gonna go to the next tool. This one is input, and this one we're not gonna go into details, and we're not even gonna go into this option because this is a beginner's video. This is gonna be the more advanced part of Wix, where you can add more crazy customizations and do other stuff. So this one we're gonna skip. Content manager, same thing, we're not gonna talk about it in this video, but definitely we're gonna talk about blogs. Because a lot of people want to add a blog to their page, and this helps you with you know, keywords and visibility. So definitely it's very important. So how do you do it? You have two options to add a blog to your page. First one, you have this button right here. You can go directly to blog, and you're gonna see this section right here. You can add it to the site. You can also find this little button right here. When you click on it, you can add now, and it will add it to the page. Now, let's say you want the blog to be on the home page, then you're gonna activate it when you're on the home page. But if you don't want it to be on the home page, you know, you want it to be on the about page, you wanna make sure you go to that specific page that you're gonna be, because once you add it, it's going to automatically add it to the page that you have it. You can also move it later, but it's just a little bit more tedious work to do. So make sure you're on the right page whenever you want to add it. Now, it doesn't matter in which area of your page you are when you add it, because you can always drag and drop in any section. So let's say I want to add it somewhere after this picture right here. So I'm going to add a strip first. And then once I'm here, I'm gonna stretch this, and this is where I wanna add my blog. So I'm gonna click on here, add now, and then it's gonna add it right now. So it's just creating it. So let's give it a time. And perfect. So it's asking you a few questions, you know, if you wanna share your expertise, if you wanna blog with your team, or you want to set it for members only. Let's say you're only creating something for a community that you're building. So most likely you're going to use the first one because you want to, you know, grow traffic and connect with readers. So click that one and get started. Once you do that, you're going to see it right here. And automatically it's giving you that layout. But if you don't like what it looks like right now, all you gotta do is go to settings, and then under settings you're gonna say display, and here is you can decide things that you want to show. So for example, I don't want the name of the author to show. I can hide it. Let's say I don't want an image, I can hide that. Let's say I don't want to put the reading time, because let's say I'm not going to be estimating how long. It could be faster for me, but it can be slower for other people, so I'm not going to even put that there. And then the description, same thing, I can add it or remove it. So this is how you decide what you want to show. Now the layout is how do you want this to show. If you wanted this mode, you can also make it like a title. You want to make it like a type of magazine. You want to make a full post, and then people have to scroll to see all of them. You want it on one column, or you want it just like a slide. So the most common one is this one, the editorial, but you can use whatever you think is gonna look good for your page or the style that you're going for. And then again, under settings, you can also decide colors. Under design, you can decide the color of the text. You can go back here, decide what color for buttons you want, and all those details about the design of the actual blog. Now to add content to this blogging, you want to go where it says manage posts, and when you go here, you're gonna see the sample blogs that are already there, and I'm gonna show you how you're gonna use them. So once you're on this page, right, you're gonna have again all the common tools that you already have on your page. If you don't want these ones, you can select them and move them to trash. If you want to add a new blog, you're just gonna click here, and we're gonna click where it says create new post. And then here is where you can type, let's say, a title. So it can be like best websites in 2021. You can add a small section right here, like see yourself for the best websites in 2021, right? And then let's say here I want to add a an image, so I can do that. Can select an image, and then we're gonna go here on media. Let's say I want to add this one right here, so I can add an image. Let's say I want to add text. I want to make it smaller, so I can add text right here, start writing. And then if I want to add another section right here, I can just click on this section, or I can go here and add a gallery, a video, file button, and then on settings I can also add an image that I wanted to show first. SEO, if I'm trying to add some keywords, so this is what I can add keywords to it. Categories, if I want to create categories for each blogs I'm having. Let's say I'm having some for lifestyle, so I can create lifestyle. I can do also, let's say, trends, and then lastly, let's say I want to do news. Let's say I want to add news, and then now whenever I'm ready to publish this, I can just select on which category I want it to be. So this blog is gonna be about lifestyle, and then I can add tags. And if I'm monetizing, this is something that you can also add in the future. We're not gonna go into details, and then translate also, we're not gonna go into that right now. So let's say you just created your blog, just click publish, and now it's gonna show you this message. You're gonna close it. You can close this box now, and then your new blog is right here. So when they click on it, they're gonna take them to that specific blog. So that's how you add categories, and as you can see, they're right here. So we're gonna preview them. So you can see you have all the posts, lifestyle, trends, there's nothing, news, there's nothing. So this is where you can do certain things to your page, blog section, sorry. So we're gonna go back here. Now on store, this is where you can add a store for an e-commerce page. Now that one is like its own monster. An e-commerce website has a lot of details, everything from like adding the pictures, the fulfillment, the pricing. So it's very complex. So if you have an e-commerce site, the best advice I can give you is always work with somebody that has experience, so they do the right thing for your page. If you try to do it yourself, it's not gonna be difficult. It's just gonna take a lot of time for you to do certain things. So a lot of times the best thing is just to find somebody for the e-commerce site, and that's what I recommend, just because e-commerce has so many parts to it. Again, everything from adding the product, making sure you add like the fulfillment, you add the cancellation policy, the refund policy, the return policy. So there's a lot of things that go into that. Again, if you already have a page and you just need certain help, let me know, I can help you. But if you're planning to do something brand new, it's better that you have somebody create it for you that has experience. That way all you gotta focus on is how to change a product, prices, do little details of changes, rather than you building the whole thing. Even myself, to be honest, I don't like building e-commerce websites just because it's a lot of work. So I usually tend to pass those projects to somebody else. But again, I know how to do it. Then you have bookings. This is gonna be an app that you can use for websites that are hotels. Let's say you're creating something that had to do with rentals. This is where you can use that application, and that's something also a little bit more advanced. I'm gonna do a video just for bookings, because the app itself has also a lot of categories like calendars, syncing with your emails, knowing how to create specific blocks for times on where they can book, and all those things, also from taking payments. Events also is the same thing. If you're planning to sell tickets on your website, you're planning to showcase events that you're going to be doing, this is where you're going to use it. Members area is if you want to create a section where people can log in into your website and be able to share information, see. So for example, I have a client that has a Taekwondo website, and he wants to display results for his students, so he doesn't want to make that public. So that was done through a members area only page, and that's really good, because then you can limit who can see that information. And then earlier I mentioned something about my designs. So let's say we're gonna go onto that page right there. So we're gonna go back here under home. So under home section, let's say you created this design right here and you really like it and you think you can use it again on another page that you're creating. You can just do right click to save to my designs, and name something like blue design, for example, or you can name it anything. Once you click save, you're gonna be able to find it right here on my designs, and this is where you're gonna see it. And once your design is there, is again literally like a drag and drop, like if you were to add a button, that's how you do it. So that's what the design section is for. So again, that's all for the tools. Now we're gonna move into the next section, which is menus and pages, and this is gonna be very easy. But before I move into this section, and I don't want to forget, we're gonna go back to add. And one thing that I didn't see here, because for some reason it's hidden, is the anchors. So what we want to do is go back to the search, type anchors, and then we're gonna click on there and it's gonna find it. So it was under menu. So in anchor is pretty much this blue line that's gonna show, and let's say it's right there. Now I can name this based on that specific session. So let's say section, sorry. So it's request demo. Now, anywhere on the page, this one is attached to this section right here. I can move it, but let's say I go to the menus and I add a link, right? I can connect it to an anchor right here, and then it's right there already. If I have multiple ones, it's gonna show right here. So once I click done, now it's gonna be added there. Let's name it demo. And this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna go to preview. Let's say somebody clicks on demo, it will take them to that specific section. Now let's go back. And let's say we wanna connect this button right here to that specific section. So I will click on it, look this little symbol that says link, find anchor right here and connect it to the right one. Click done, and then I can click preview. If I click on it, it takes me to that specific section. So that's how you use anchors. Again, if there's one already and you want to use it, all you gotta do is you can rename it. If you don't like it anymore, you can click on it and then just delete it. But again, that's where you're gonna create them. Now, again, the menus and pages right here, this is where you're gonna see all the pages that you have currently on your account. If you wanna add a new page, it's very easy. All you have to do is go here where it says add a new page, and usually it's gonna pick the same style of template that you already have for the footer and the for the top, the banner, and the bottom one. So everything in the middle, it's gonna be pre-designs that they already have. So you can go into services and see a design that you like, projects, contact. So you can select any design that you want. In this case, I usually like to create my own design. So I'll just go to blank page, and then I can name it, for example, here is, let's say consultation. And I click done. And now I'm on this page. So if I click here, you can see I'm on the consultation page. And let's say I want to add a interactive page. So we're gonna add something like a slider. So let's add this one right here. And then I want to add another strip right here, a white one at the bottom right here. And then I want to add a image. I can just go to image right here. And let's say we're gonna use this puppy right here. Can make it a little smaller, and I can attach it to the section right here. I can also add a text. So as you can see, it's very easy. Once you start getting practice, it's very easy to create sections and pages. The only thing is you gotta keep in mind that you gotta make sure you make it neat and you organize it properly, so that way your page looks really good, you know, it doesn't look bad. So as you can see, I just created a consultation page, and then if I like it, I can just click save. I can also preview. Let's say I want to add an effect to this picture right here. I'm just gonna click on it and go on animation, and I want to add that one. So when I go here, boom, it's right there. So that's how you add a new page, okay? And you can go and design it the way you want it. Then again, we're gonna go to the next section, which is gonna be theme, and this is where you can change every color within your page. So you already have this, so if you want to click change theme, you can find and select a different one, and it will change completely all the colors of the buttons, titles, and let's say you want to find something else. As you can see, this is making it easier for you. Instead of having to find the color that matches, you can already have a palette. But let's say you already have this one, right? And for some reason you want to change just this color right here. I will click on this and I will change it for a different color. Let's say more like a blue one. Now you can click add, and now it's gonna change that color. So for the button, I want to use a red color instead, or an orange, doesn't matter. And then I can click add, and now it changed all the color for the buttons I'm using. So that's how you're gonna use the theme manager. Then you have the background. The background, this one right here specifically is for the whole page, not for the sections that you have, but for the whole page. Usually I like to use white background because a lot of the times people are gonna find you on mobile and they're not even gonna be able to see that background. So I rather have a nicer, you know, picture on each section than in the whole background, but that's totally up to you. You can add a color instead, or you can add an image or a video. You can do different things. Then you have the apps. This is where you're gonna add new apps to the page. So for example, if you wanna add a booking app, so you can take appointments, you can add it right here. And if you like all the information that has right here, let's say the reviews usually are not gonna matter too much because some people just don't like things. But once you click on it, it's gonna add it to the site. Also, it's gonna show you if it's free or you have to pay for it. And then you can find other apps, for example, pictures. And you can go and find things that you need for your page before and after. So this is where you're gonna be able to add new apps. If you already have apps installed onto your page, again, you just gotta go in this section right here, scroll all the way at the bottom, and it's gonna show you what the apps are already installed on your page. So let me see why it's not loading. It's okay, it's right there. So here where it says manage apps, you click on it, and it's gonna show you all the current apps that you have on your website. So that's what you do. Now on the next button is gonna be the media, and this is where you're gonna go find pictures that you already have on your computer, on your Wix account, which are gonna be here, and or the pictures or images that you have used already. And then if you want to add a new image, you can just do it directly from here. The other option to change pictures or add pictures is using this button right here and going into image and adding an image right there. The other option is clicking on the image that you want to replace and change image, and it's going to take you to that place. So you have many tools that take you to the same place. Lastly, you have the blog section. Let's say you want to add a blog section in this section right here. Sorry for being so repetitive. Let's say I want to add a blogging item in this part. I can go on the blog button and add an element. And here I can decide what type of element from blogging I want to add. So let's say I want to add this one right here. And now I was able to move this item from my blogging into a completely different page. I still have it on the home page, but now I also have it on the consultation. So as you can see, when you do the preview, it's right there. But if I go on the home, you're also gonna see the blog all the way here where we added it. And then it's, I think I deleted it here, but no. I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, I think I deleted it. But again, you can add it anywhere on your page, and that's what's gonna be very useful for you to, you know, add it on other sections. As you can see, we already messed up this template, but doesn't matter. We're gonna go back again, and we're gonna go to just the last part, which is gonna be the content manager. Again, we're gonna do a video for these sections right here. This is a little bit more advanced, so that's why we're not even talking too much about it. But once you learn how to manage and change things into the page, everything it becomes very easy. Again, it's all about clicking on the plus button, adding the specific item that you want. And if there's already an item right there, it's all about clicking that item, finding the menu, and the menu has all the options that you need, anything from like managing the media, right, changing the items, the settings. If you want to change a layout or design, most of the times are gonna be within the settings, or sometimes you're gonna find it on the design section. So you can pretty much can do anything on your page right there. And if you messed up something, just remember you have these options right here, and you also have the settings, and you can go to history on your page. Where do you go? Okay, site history, and then you can go back on time to the place that you already had it correctly. And if you messed up something, you can always go back. So hopefully this video was useful. In the next video that I'm gonna be uploading soon, we're gonna be talking more about creating a page and how to design it. But as you can see, it's very easy. It's literally just trying to read the menus, see where everything is located, and it's very easy to drag and drop. When you're creating a simple website or just changing or updating the one that you already have, it shouldn't be that difficult. If you want to make something more advanced, then definitely I would recommend mastering everything that you saw in this video and then moving into the next level, which is going to be more about like databases, you know, connecting specific links, doing some coding, things like that. So thank you again for the support, and have a wonderful day, evening, or night.